yeah, let's get into this, man. This will be really big. I have had some surgeries. Let's talk about this first too, before we even get into our actual intro. I've had 6 heart surgeries. 2 of them were full-on open heart surgeries where they cut from the top of my sternum here, where the collarbones come in to connect to the sternum, and then all the way down to the bottom of my sternum, like I'm saying, where the ribs come up into and then start that sternum bone. My entire sternum has been cut open, and they've operated on my heart twice. Okay, that was 2 of my heart surgeries. They were full on, like, cut the sternum completely through, open the chest, and go operate on the heart. I've also had a pacemaker. Yeah, it's a little device that they put in your chest. It's just flat, little, small, round device with a battery in it, and then they wire 2 little wires, or leads they call them, down and put it into the tissue of your heart, and that little device and the battery in there sends a little electrical shock to your heart to shock your heart to beat faster than it naturally would. Your heart would naturally beat at a certain resting heart rate, right? The human body's only normal. We talk about that often in all senses. There's only a normal. Natural, neutral, and normal are synonyms within the human being. So the normal heart rate is just, what it would naturally be at when we're resting, just sitting down, standing there, not doing much motion. And yeah, the body has an electrical system that just naturally will tell the heart to beat by giving it a little bit of a shock, and that's what causes the heart to beat. But yeah, I got a pacemaker, and I only had it for 2.5 weeks. I was 17 years old, and then it didn't heal up, and you could legitimately see it through the incision, little 2.5 inch incision right about here. And the reason I'm talking about this in this video specifically is because that's placed right under the collarbone. There's kind of like this little pocket in the shoulder where there's the collarbone here. You can actually see, right? That's what I mean on me. And then there's the head of the humerus, which is this upper arm bone, comes up and it meets the collarbone peak on top of the shoulder. And then it also meets the scapula, the acromion, really, the top of the scapula here. And that's what the shoulder joint is. Okay, and so within there's this little pocket, and they can place a pacemaker in there, just kind of tuck it right under the skin, and then run those leads to your heart. And so, having that surgery, and then 2.5 weeks later, since the incision site didn't heal up, they took out the pacemaker. And now it's been about 9 years since they removed it from me, and I'm fine. My body actually works better than it ever has as of today's date. Interesting, right? That would happen. God works in ways that we don't understand sometimes, but I'm really grateful that I don't have a little electronic box in my chest, because obviously I don't need it 9 years later. And yeah, my body operates and functions better than it ever has. I have more stamina than I've ever had. Man, it's interesting. Very interesting how life can happen in ways that it does. God is amazing. This is the big point. God, that's crazy. I had an incision here. All right, so there's 2.5 inch, give or take, probably, incision. It's a scar tissue. It's right here. I can feel it. Okay, here's my collarbone right there. And the incision was right here in this like little shoulder pocket area. Okay. So yes, I have some scar tissue there, and that's affected my collarbone over the years. It has. Anybody with a pacemaker, it's affecting your shoulder's position. Sometimes you really need it. Sometimes people's hearts cannot beat as fast as their body needs their heart to pump blood throughout it, to oxygenate their body, and fuel the body with blood. I didn't expect on speaking on these surgeries at all going into this video. That's why I'm like kind of at the cadence of speaking that I am. It's like, this is humbling, as you can probably tell by my countenance. Yeah, personal experience, me, Evan Strong, as the founder of In The Image Clothing Company. I'm in this for life. I speak out of personal experience, trial and error, prayer and revelation. That's how I know these things. It's a lot of what these videos are at these founding dates. You know, we're just a little over a year into In the Image Clothing Company as of today's date. Yeah, the 24th of October, 2025. And this is our information. It's coming from just me personally as the founder. And so it's good to have a little bit of background context, you know, of me, where I'm coming from, because I'm the one that's making this what it is at all, you know, seriously. Darn, yeah, and that's just how it is. That's the truth. So it's crazy because, you know, it's a testament to God, really. I mean, there's a lot that, yeah, God does the impossible, and you just sometimes, you know, faith is the only way out of anything and everything always in life. Okay, so there's a little message before we even get into this, but the point with the scar tissue, with a pacemaker, with anything around the collarbone like that, scar tissue there can affect just the pliability of the skin here. It can affect the motion of the collarbone and, you know, just the position that it would naturally sit in. Man, you know, there's a lot that can come with that. But that's what I'll say on that for now, for this video sake. But let's get into the intro, okay? This is the main site of In the Image Clothing Company. And what I'll talk about in this video, though, is what's not allowing the collarbone to just have all of its natural motion. You know, and that's what I mean. And, well, first of all, look at all the motion that's in a collarbone. I mean, there's a lot, and there should be. And there should be even motion on each side of the body. There's two sides to the body. So that's what we'll talk about. But that's what we do, right?